Well, welcome to this week's check-in video. As you can see behind me and stuff, we definitely got dumped on. Winter is here again in Fort Erie. And it's one thing to wake up in the morning and to realize, oh man, we got dumped on at night. I got a shovel and stuff. It's another thing to be stuck behind a bulldozer. And that's the snow plows, right? That's the one thing that I just can't stand. When you hit the highway or something, and now there's two going side by side, and you're going 40 kilometers an hour down the highway, taking 3 hours to get to where you got to go. Never like following the snow plows, but I'll tell you, there was one year, many years ago when my grandfather was still alive. We lived in Niagara Falls, and he lived at 373 Garrison Road in Fort Erie. And so one Christmas day, we drove down to pick him up in the morning, and we brought him up to our house, and we had Christmas together. And then at the end of the day, we were going to drive him home. But during the day, we got destroyed with snow. I mean, we got plowed with snow. And so when I hit the highway, I have this little Saturn car, a good foot and a half or so of snow, and I'm scared of taking this guy home. And so just before I hit the highway, I saw the snow plows coming down there, going towards the on ramp towards the highway. Normally, I would gun it real fast and try and beat them so I could get to where I'm going, in a good speed. But this time, I was like, you know what? I'm slowing down. I'm letting you come through. I am glad to follow behind you, because in the darkness of the night, with the big flakes coming down and the massive feet of snow that was on the highway, the best spot to be was following the snowplow. No other spot that I would rather be after a big dump of snow and the evening of a daytime is to be behind a snowplow. I tell that story because I guess at the end of the day, I ask you, what do you follow? What do you enjoy following? Or better yet, who do you follow? And that's what we talked about on Sunday, right? It's Joshua who's at the end of his life. He's about to pass on, and he's following, he's giving one last kind of speech, one last testimony to the people, one last challenge. And he gathers the leaders and the people together, Joshua chapter 24. He looks back upon their history. Right now they're following God, but they're also got other gods in their homes, and they're following other idols, and they're just open to a lot of distractions in life. And he knows that's not going to cut it. And so he looks back upon the power of God and the work of God and the success of God. And really the history of God's people is the history of God. And so he's challenging them to look back and see what God has done for them in the past. And to take that knowledge of the past and to bring it into today's context and towards the future and say, look upon the hand of God. Look what God has done, and choose for yourselves this day whom you will serve. Because if you look back in history and you see the power of God and the hand of God, the work of God upon your life, then throw away all the distractions and throw away all the idols and the gods that your forefathers had and you've collected over the years. Get rid of the distractions and serve God and fear God and follow God. The challenge was to serve God, right? And to choose for yourselves this day whom you will serve. But as for me and my household, Joshua says, we will serve the Lord. What a challenge in today's context. We may believe God, but if we look around our life, we are so distracted and inundated with distractions in our life that really, if we look at our day, if we look at our weekends, if we look at the things that we're trying to accomplish and save for and have goals towards, does it have anything to do with God? Do we really follow God? Those words of Joshua would be so true to today in our context. Choose for yourselves this day whom you will serve. I pray that we would find men and women more and more in our community, families who would stand up and say, us together as a household, we will serve the Lord. That in all things we would commit all things in all ways to the Lord for his glory and for his will and work to be done. What a challenge even this day as you're watching this. Think to the things that you're thinking about. Look at the things that you're trying to accomplish today. What are you choosing? Who are you following? I pray that you're having a good time following through our spiritual journey for this month, the month of February. If you didn't catch anything, we've got readings and things to think about through each and every week. You can find them on our app or our website. But just continue to think about that thought that Joshua gives to the people and ultimately gives to us. Choose for yourself this day whom you will serve. But as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. God bless. Have a great week, and we'll see you Sunday.
What can I give to you? What can